running as an independent, and I got 17% of the vote. The Republican got half as many votes as me. So, you know, people were even saying, you're not even going to beat the Republican, but I did. And so I was relieved about that. I thought that would really suck if I can't come in third behind a Republican in San Francisco. But anyway, during the campaign, it was awful. I just want to tell everybody, running for Congress was the second worst thing I ever did. The first worst thing, of course, was burying my son. So running for Congress isn't compared, but it was awful. It was stressful. It was humiliating. It was just really hard work. I don't care about hard work. Hard work is fine. I like to do hard, productive work. You know, we were able to raise about $650,000 from people all over the country. We got a lot of good support that way. And I feel grateful for all of that support. But Nancy Pelosi raised $2.5 million. And we had a total, yeah, I said Nancy Pelosi. And there was a total media blackout, almost like it was orchestrated. An orchestrated media blackout, where we had people say, can't work on your campaign, we can't cover your campaign, because if we do, we won't work or cover any other campaigns ever in San Francisco. And it was about in October, when do you guys remember the bankster bailout of $800 billion, the first one? Where the Democrats and the Republicans worked together to give money to Goldman Sachs and all those criminal corporations that are the reason why we're poor today. And so I figured out at that time, I'm slow, but I figured out at that time that there really is no really relevant division in this country except a class division. And I divided us into two classes. You can clap. You can clap. I divided us into two classes. The robber class, and if there's a robber class, then there has to be a robbed class. So we're members of the robbed class here. Now, the robber class doesn't have any political divisions. They don't have racial divisions. They don't have gender divisions. They don't have gender preference divisions. They don't have, did I say religious? They don't have religious divisions. They're one. They collaborate to steal all the power and the money from us. And in our class, they want to foment these divisions to make us bicker with each other so we don't realize they're literally stealing us blind. And this has happened since the beginning of this country. And so it's just been reinforced to me. The campaign reinforced it. What's happened since Obama took office has reinforced it. I call the Democrats and the Republicans the war party. It's the left wing and the right wing of the war party. Look at a couple of weeks ago when they approved another supplemental for war. It was in the House, they passed it with 52 Democratic votes against it. 52 Democratic votes against war funding. How long did we work? How hard did we work? For the 2 years that Bush was president and the Democrats had control of Congress, how hard did we work to say, stop funding his wars? If he doesn't have war funding, he can't fight them. So just stop giving him money. And they gave him money anyway. And then, so 52 Democrats voted against it the first time. It went to the Senate, it got changed in the Senate. When it came back, it had IMF funding, right? It had about $5 billion in IMF funding to guarantee $100 billion in loans to foreign countries. So the Republicans said none of us are voting for it because it has IMF funding in it. So the Democrats needed every single vote. And they browbeat and whipped and cajoled their caucus into voting yes on the war funding. Do you realize if they had voted the day it got back from the Senate, our troops could be coming home right now? And so it's now, more than ever, a Democratic war. But it doesn't matter. It's a robber class war. It's a robber class war for profit. And so, smattering of applause. You know, and before my son was killed, I knew that war profiteering happened. But I thought it was a consequence of war. And since Casey's died, now I know it's the reason for war. And you know, it's really tragic that, you know, literally hundreds of thousands, millions of people have died so the robber class can profit. And you know what the amazing thing is the robber class never fights these wars. They never send their children to fight them. And so I was thinking, with all of these robber class crimes, I'm not even going to say Democrat or Republican anymore tonight. I'm going to just talk about the robber class, and you'll know who I'm talking about. It's the government, most people, not everybody in the government. You know, I'm not going to even hint that Dennis Kucinich is a member of the robber class. And, you know, a few others are okay. A few others are okay. It's our government. It's most of the media, the corporate media. I used to think that the media was right-leaning. No, it's not. It's establishment leaning. It's robber class leaning. It supports the crimes of the robber class. So it's the government, the media, the military-industrial complex, Wall Street, Madison Avenue, bankers, they're all in the robber class. And so after my campaign, I was thinking, why do we do this? Why do we let them take our money? Why do we let them exploiter labor? Not only exploiter labor, but why do we let all the good jobs go offshore? Why do we let them even take our children to kill in robber class wars? What is it about us that makes us codependent with a system that hurts us? This system hurts us, but we're codependent with it. Well, I thought to myself that it's because we believe in myths in this country. Not only do we believe in them, but we've had them shoved down our throats from the time we're born. And they're reinforced in school, they're reinforced by the media, they're reinforced by, even Martin Luther King Jr. parades in some communities are militaristic. You know, it's a militaristic, nationalistic society. So I thought of the title, Myth America. And I thought, it's not Miss America, it's Myth America. I don't have a list. And so I thought, that's a great title. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, I'm going to get up and write an article. And when I was writing and researching it, I realized that it was going to be more than an article. So I came up with the 10 greatest myths of the robber class. And I also have a radio show called Cindy Sheehan Soapbox. Please go to cindysheehansoapbox.com. We have every show archived. It's 1 hour a week. They're great shows. I have great guests. And it's on one terrestrial market in this country, and that's in Dallas. It's Rational Radio, 1360 AM. And I always imagine every Sunday at 3, George mixing himself a cocktail. You know, saying, hey, Laura, turn on the radio box. Cindy's coming on. And then he's listening to Cindy Sheehan Soapbox. So, yeah, I